The first place Colorado Rockies getting ready to go this evening. Game 2 of a 3-game set between the Giants, just like saying first place Colorado Rockies. The only time they've been in first place later in the season, as you heard during the pregame show, was late September of 1995. The Rockies 13 games above 500. The Giants are in all likelihood playing out the string. They're at 68-71. Here's a glance at the NL West standings. Again, the Dodgers lost last night, and the Arizona Diamondbacks lost last night. So the Rockies a half game up on LA, a game and a half clear of the D-backs. And it's always good when this man has the baseball. His last 7 ball games, all quality starts, and typically not just 6 innings and 3 runs. I mean, it's 7, 8 dominant innings, as it was in his last outing in San Diego.
Yeah, the last guy to go 7 consecutive quality starts. You got to go back to 2013. You at least just seen a lot of curveballs and sliders in the start against San Diego. And I think that's going to be the key tonight against the lefties. For Marquez's last 4 starts at Coors Field, 2-1 with a 2.36 ERA. Opponent's batting average is 2.30 against Herman.
Here's the Southwest batting order this evening for the San Francisco Giants. They've changed some things up. Gregor Blanco came off the bench yesterday. He'll be batting leadoff. Joe Panik was not in the lineup yesterday. Went to the on-deck circle briefly at one point. Brandon Belt came off the bench yesterday, so 1, 2, and 3 are different. Evan Longoria, big triple to tighten things up last night for San Francisco. Then it's Brandon Crawford, Nick Hundley, Chris Shaw got his first career hit. It was a home run in that top of the 8th inning that provided some scares for the 43+ thousand and all the folks watching at home. First pitch down low to Blanco. And that pitch is on the inside corner, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Blanco, a veteran guy, typically a 4th outfielder, but like so many Giants, they always have this type of player, a guy that knows how to play the game.
Yeah, that's what Bruce Bochy likes. He likes a little bit more of a veteran ball club. I like this too, right out of the gate. Just show me that curveball. Get it over there. Difference between the Giants and the Padres, who we saw last time. Tonight, he's got to deal with 5 left-handers in the lineup.
And that is a base hit the other way for Blanco. Dahl will circle it and fire it back in and hold Blanco to a base hit. Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. David Dahl getting the start in left field. The Rockies are going to load up on left-handed bats also, as they're facing a right-hander. Blackman and Cargo join him. The infield is what you'd assume it would be, and behind the plate, Tony Walters doing the catching. So the Rockies have rotated now Iannetta and Tony quite a bit, but added to the mix is Drew Butera. Butera yesterday had the start, did a nice job behind the dish. That's in there for a strike at the bottom of the zone on Panik.
Well, Drew had the opportunity to catch almost everybody out of the pen yesterday. As many guys as they were rolling out there.
Yeah, if he wasn't familiar with guys before the game, he's a lot more familiar now.
Yeah, I was joking with Mike Redmond about that around the batting cage today.
And that also at the bottom of the zone. That is a good sign. I know he gave up the hit to Blanco, but Marquez getting extension, 95, 96, down around the knees.
You know, it goes back to what Spilly was talking about when he was kind of breaking down the mechanics, staying level with the shoulders. That allows the arm to catch up and be able to have the extension and finish.
Good block by Tony. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Panik just 3 for his last 22, which is a common theme with most of these Giant hitters.
Just not expecting that with a Joe Panik, with a Brandon Crawford, Brandon Bell, all those guys. They got a pretty big resume.
Blanco takes off, and he's going to swipe second.
4 stolen base on the year for Blanco. The Giants have sold 15 straight and 19 out of the last 21.
Well, they're doing everything they can to try to generate offense, but there's only a select number of guys who could truly run for Boch. As you see, Madison Bumgarner is the bench coach, in addition to Bam Bam Hensley Mullins, I guess, this evening. 2-2. And that is going to be a problem. That's going to score a run. Blanco will come around and panic with an opposite field single, just kind of a dribbler up the third base line. So the Giants up 1-0.
Two similar balls. I think the first one where Blanco was hit harder. That one, he got beat. He got jammed on this on the Subaru Supermo. Hit it right off the label, but stayed inside of it enough. And Panic doesn't swing and miss a whole lot. Just knocked it inside the bag past Nolan. And then that stolen base comes back and puts the Giants up 1-0.
Well, Germán's always motivated. He's a tough guy. He is not as demonstrative in how he shows his competitiveness, say, to a Kyle Freeland. But make no mistake, I mean, this guy is a fiery competitor, and he's highly motivated tonight because this is his 4th career start against the Giants, and the first 3 did not go well.
Yeah, 0-2 with an 8.79 ERA. All those starts too with even an 8.79 were at AT&T. So this is his first start against the Giants at Coors Field,
which is even probably more surprising
that
because
it's that high.
Yeah, I mean, AT&T is one of the great pitchers parks in the big leagues. I know Belt's not swinging it well, but he always scares the dickens out of you when he comes to the plate. He's just 2 for his last 22. And this ball's lined to center field. Charlie will come on and make the catch. 1 out. And that'll bring up Evan Longoria. Third baseman, number 10, Evan Longoria. 15 home runs for Longoria, 49 driven in. He had a broken wrist, missed a couple of months. Got off to a slow start with his new club and then picked it up in May. That's a strike. Career .351 hitter at Coors Field with 5 home runs. In fact, 11 of his 15 home runs this year have come out on the road. That's a strike also. Beautiful night for baseball. 79 degrees our game time temperature. It's actually warmer this evening than it was at first pitch yesterday afternoon. It was around 74 yesterday.
Trying to keep Panic close, and Joe's just 2 for 4 stealing bases, but the last 9 out of the last 10 guys that have tried to steal against Germán have been successful. See ya.
Yeah, that's not what he was expecting. That was a heater right down the middle, and off you go, Evan Longoria. Actually, it wasn't a heater. That was his slider. Excuse me, and it froze him.
Kind of spinning up there on the Subaru Supermo, backed up a little bit. And every once in a while, those are
the best kind.
Those are the best kind. You don't want to live there. You don't want to throw those all the time.
So here's Crawford. Another Giant staple now for a number of years. 95 on the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, since the start of 2012, he's played 95.4% of all games for the San Francisco Giants. Yeah, 1,061 games.
And you think of the Giants and the 3 World Championships over the last 8 years, and under Bruce Bochy, it's just they roll out the balls in spring training, and you know who the guys are going to be. I mean, their bullpen's now turned over, but for years it was, you know, Affelt and Lopez, and you know it was the same names, Casilla, and the same thing with their core group.
Well, starting with Buster Posey, the guy that's now hurt and had surgery on his hip.
But Posey was going to be there. Belt was going to be there. The aforementioned Crawford. You know,
Hunter Pence.
Hunter Pence, once they picked him up. 2-1, fouled off. There's Hunter. Tried to knock over the wall in left field yesterday in foul territory. Got it to move a little bit.
Didn't work.
Center field, pretty deep. Charlie going back, and he'll gather it in. A couple of singles, a stolen base, and a run for the Giants. So they lead 1-0, and the Rockies will get their first turn when we come back.
Charlie Blackmon, center field. DJ LeMahieu, segunda base. Nolan Arenado, tercera base. Carlitos Cargo González, right field. Trevor Thunderhands Story, shortstop. David Dahl, left field. ID, Ian Desmond, primera base. Tony Walters, receptor. Y Germán Márquez, la pesadilla en la loma de las responsabilidades.
You know what? That was so good. We're going to have Vinny do it the rest of the season.
Right? He should. Just every day do the lineup for us.
That was outstanding.
That was awesome.
Funny. Thunderhands. Fastball from Rodriguez on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Well, Charlie's hot. 8 for his last 17 at the plate. 338 average his last 15. And this ball's pulled to right. Stay fair. It is a foul. Well, Derek Rodriguez was signed as a minor league free agent last offseason. And he has turned that opportunity into a really nice season with San Francisco. The league's hitting just .207 against him. A very fine 2.47 ERA. Made his major league debut here at Coors Field.
Yeah, came in for Jeff Samardzija. The curveball and the changeups are his two off-speed pitches.
Look who's in the house, your old teammate.
My old teammate. Way back, and Hall of Famer Pudge Rodriguez.
You know, as good an arm as Derek has on the mound.
No,
92 to 94. He doesn't have Pudge's arm,
no,
does he?
No, not at all. Sorry, kid.
Yeah. And that's a base hit the other way. Stay hot, Charlie Blackmon. And 9 for his last 18. Here comes DJ, and he brings us to our big hit, brought to you by Mako. DJ in the first inning against Ball loses a baseball to left center field. He has been red hot. His 14th home run. Consider that his previous career best was 11. Kidding him earlier. So they're going to have to change the entire scouting report on you, DJ. You're messing everybody up. And you got the from DJ the obligatory little chuckle, and then it was back to business.
Did you get a chuckle?
I mean, like a mild chuckle at DJ. which is good.
That is good. Well, 14 home runs. He's had 3 in his last 7 games and 6 in his last 22 ball games.
Gotta love DJ LeMahieu. Glue guy, game face all the time. Brings an intensity, a quiet intensity to the yard every day.
That's why the clubhouse is so good, because you have different guys in kind of different roles. You have the one that's a little bit louder, one's quiet, one only yells at certain times.
Charlie dives back in. Charlie's been looking to be more aggressive on the base paths of late. Chuck's got 11 stolen bases now.
The Rockies is a team up to 75%. They had dropped down into the high 60s for a while.
They've pulled off a couple double steals each of the last couple of ball games, which were really big. Up and in, 2-1. In terms of stolen bases now, with one more bag, Charlie's going to be second on the all-time stolen base list with the Rockies. Pass Larry Walker. Eric Young, senior, in front. This ball's pulled to left field pretty deep. Going back is Shaw, and he'll make the catch against the wall. That was close.
That was a good play by Shaw, getting that break on it, because off the bat, you're thinking this, not sure if it was going to go out, but at least go over his head. He catches it one step, kind of braces himself. Oh, just so used to seeing DJ pull the ball now. You got a little spinner coming up there. Just a long out, but that's 2 balls now that have been hit pretty good off of Derek. And I will call him Pudge at some point tonight. Sorry, folks. It's just, it's going to be natural habit to do that. I'll try to remember.
Well, the first time you met Derek, he was
days
old, right?
Yeah, he was an infant, and just Pudge had brought him into the locker room to show everybody. So the first time I saw him, I held him as about 5, 6, 7 days old. That was it.
Yeah. Did you tell Derek that last time?
Yeah, last time I saw him when he made his major league debut here.
I shouldn't say when you met him. You met him a long time ago, but that pitch misses, and it is 2-0 quickly on Nolan. But he's done a couple different things with the lineup the last few days, trying to get the offense going. Obviously, the offense was good on Sunday in San Diego. 7 runs, 9 runs, 11 hits yesterday. But against righties, Cargo had been hitting 3rd, Nolan 4th, and they've kind of switched that up here tonight.
It also spreads out the lefties and the righties, the way the lineup is constructed tonight, with Cargo hitting left-handed, then the righty Trevor, lefty David Dahl. So you see a little symmetry there between the righties and the lefties. Now in September it doesn't really matter, because you got 10,000 guys out in the bullpen.
Yeah.
During the regular season, it makes it a little more challenging for a manager.
I love the Rockies against left-handed pitching also because of that guy now. Matt Holliday sitting in the middle of that lineup, and the way he's swinging the bat, the at-bats he's taken. Remember yesterday, because the Rockies went big bang boom in the first inning. First 4 guys, 2-run home runs. LeMahieu, 2-run home run from Story. And then Matt came up, and I told him this around the batting cage. I said, we were talking about how great an at-bat that was. It was a 4-pitch walk. Foul tip, 3-2. And he smiled, and he said, yeah, he said, everything in my being was like, man, I got to fire at this first one. He said, and then at the last second, I'm like, you know what? He just gave up 4 bullets. There's no way he's throwing me a cookie. And he said, sure enough, he threw me a really good curveball. It was down, and I'm really glad I didn't fire at it.
Well, and we talked about that in the broadcast, how that veteran guy might do that, and he did.
See if Charlie takes off. He does. That is a ball. And we have first and second now as Nolan walks. He wasn't sure for a second. He kind of stood there, was waiting for Ben May. Ben May pointed to first. So the Rockies have runners at first and second, 1 out. Here comes Cargo. He owns 19 career home runs against the Giants. San Francisco aligns this way defensively. You saw Chris Shaw in the outfield getting the start after the big home run yesterday, his first major league hit. Gorkys Hernandez and Gregor Blanco join him in the outfield. Longoria, Crawford, Panic, and Belt. There's Brandon in the infield. And again with Buster Posey out for the season, Nick Hundley's their everyday guy behind the plate. Swung on and missed at a fastball up. Cargo 1 for 4 yesterday.
That was that soft little looper into left center.
Cargo is 5th in baseball at balls that have been hit at 110 miles an hour or greater this year. Not surprising, Giancarlo Stanton's number 1, Aaron Judge number 2. Cargo's 5th.
That's one thing Derek's not afraid to do, is pitch up in the zone. Even though the fastball's 91 to 93 on average, he will work up in the zone.
Story on deck. Rockies down 1-0. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of 1. And he got Gonzalez on 3 fastballs, all, as you were talking about, up in the strike zone.
Well, Trevor had the day yesterday, a couple home runs, 5 RBIs, and the StatCast AI is powered by AWS. We'll give you some numbers on both of them. The first one, 422 feet at 104.2 miles an hour off the bat, but he wasn't done yet. A little cutter from Madison Bumgarner for his second home run, 393. The exit velocity wasn't as hard, 97 miles an hour, but he pulled that cutter into the stands, and at that time put the Rockies ahead 7-2.
And Story fouls that pitch off. Trevor with 28 home runs, a new career high at 27. The number he wears on his back his first year. Of course, he lost part of that first year.
I still would have liked to see it if he could have gone that whole year, what the Rookie of the Year voting would have ended up.
Now, he did get a lot of national attention early just because of how he started his career. 6 home runs in 4 games. I'm with you. Here's the 0-1, and this is on the ground short, and the Rockies will leave a couple aboard in the first. We'll go to the second. 1-0 San Francisco.
Smile like Vinny Castilla. buy a purple Porsche. Apparently today I had the chance to ride to work with Vinny Castilla and this insane Porsche. It was a good time. We got to talk about Denver, how much the state and city means to him, and I did hold on tight because he likes to put the pedal to the metal. Check that thing out. It's one of several sports cars Vinny has. What a guy. He did, he kept me nice and safe, so didn't go too fast. I wore a seatbelt. It was all a lot of fun. We're going to be celebrating Vinny Castilla all night long as our #4 greatest Rocky of all time. So don't forget to join in on the conversation, tweeting us at AT&T Sportsnet RM using the hashtag ToyotaTalk25. So Drew and Huey, last week we talked about how Tulo did not allow me in his Porsche. Well, you told me, just ask and you shall receive. That's exactly what I did with Vinny, and voila.
Yeah, and I mentioned he just got that not too long ago, and he showed it to me last homestand. And my favorite thing about that car, I didn't realize it until we had the shot at Taylor getting out. The yellow, the bright yellow, he's gone, right?
Yeah, I was like, what are they waiting for?
That second strikeout, Nick Hundley is the first out of the second inning. But the purple, the purple 911 and the yellow, bright yellow seatbelts.
I just like to walk through the players lot when I'm leaving the game or coming to the game, and then just seeing which car Vinny brought that day, because he belongs to like the car of the month club, you know, instead of the book of the month club. And
do you remember way back when the late Hall of Famer Ralph Kiner was asked about, you know, hitting home runs? He said, you know what, this is back in the 40s and 50s, and he said, you know what, you hit home runs, you drive a Cadillac.
Hence why he's driving that,
yeah,
and I'm driving my great Toyota 4Runner.
There you go. This is a ground ball to DJ. Had to come get that. Did a nice job. And Chris Shaw is retired. Too quickly gone, and that'll bring up Gorkys Hernandez.
Yesterday, that home run, 14 home runs on the season, 6 of them have come against the Rockies.
Yeah, whenever the Giants showed up earlier in the year, you could just mark down Hernandez was going to hit a home run. And of course, he did again yesterday. Good pitch by Herman. You know, if you're just joining us, say, man, they got a run off Herman already. He'd been on a roll. It was, you know, a punch single by Blanco to left behind in the count, and then Panic hit a roller up the third base line after Blanco had stolen a base. And that's foul. And that's how the run came around. So, I mean, it's not like he gave up a double in the gap and another bullet off the wall. It was nothing of the sort.
That was just, for Herman, just a little bit of bad luck, too. He has given up the 29 first inning runs and 28 starts.
Well, that's just a theme for everybody not named Kyle Freeland.
Yeah, but what
year.
I was going to say is just to limit it to 1 run after the first couple guys got on.
Yeah. Another slider. This one's fouled back. Rockies have dominated the Giants at Coors Field. They've won 16 out of 18 at home against San Francisco, and that man knows that record all too well. Good pitch. 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 second for Herman Marquez. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Rockies will have David Dahl leading off in a 1-0 ball game.
the bottom of the second inning. Well, yesterday was Noel Cuevas. He was the hero for the Rockies game with the big pinch hit single up the middle. But a former teammate of him is going up against the Rockies today, and Derek Rodriguez. Their ties go back to Puerto Rico.
I know his how much he his career, how it's been. He was an outfielder, then he changed into a pitcher. He didn't make it with the Twins, and he decided to go a different route, sign with the Giants, and now he gets an opportunity like this, and then he does what he's doing. I mean, I'm proud of the kid. He's awesome. It's awesome. It's good for him.
Cuevas was saying that their relationship started as outfielders, and oftentimes they would have home run derby during batting practice, something that Noel Cuevas said Rodriguez could never beat him at. Guys?
It's amazing how many guys are converted guys to the mound. This ball's hammered deep right center field, and it is gone. Tie ball game. David Dahl with number 9. He tried another high fastball, did not work.
No, on an 0-2 pitch, he tried to climb the ladder. Remember on Sunday, last game in San Diego, David Dahl with the home run in the 8th inning. Look at this, this is up by the letters. He climbs up there to go get it on the Subaru Supermo. Oh, no doubt about it. This is the 6th home run that Derek's given up this year.
Desi on the ground to second. Panic will throw out Ian. 1 out, a run in. So David now has 9 home runs, Huey, in 167 at bats.
Love the load and then the follow through. And David keeps both hands on the bat. You'll see some guys take that top hand off. Other guys will finish it with 2 hands, and it's a lot of pop when you're talking about those 9 home runs, as you said, Drew, and 167 at bats.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you extrapolate that over a full season, you're talking about a guy who's in that 30 home run range, at least. 1 ball, 1 strike on Walters, doing the catching this evening. David Dahl is a handsy guy that produces a lot of bat whip.
With wrist. I mean, it really comes through.
That's line down the left field line, and it is going to run to the corner, and Tony's going to have himself a double. And his offense, as we have talked about, has really picked up here in the last month, and he's being rewarded. You know how good a catcher he is, but he's being rewarded with more opportunities to play because of what he's doing with the bat.
Because he's putting himself in a better position to hit now. I mean, that's something that he wasn't doing earlier. The path of the bat was too upright, and then he was losing the barrel back towards the ground a little bit, so it was a long path to travel. Now it's much shorter.
Here's the slugger, German Marquez.
Notice he's getting a lot more breaking pitches.
Took the words out of my mouth, partner. All of a sudden, because he was hitting 365 2 starts ago, guys are spinning it regularly to him.
Well, they're not going to say, well, here's a fastball, go ahead and hit it. But almost every pitch now, he's 2 out of 3 pitches are breaking pitches.
This one to center field. Will it drop? No. Sliding catch made by Hernandez. And he stayed on that slider. Pretty good swing by German. Good play by Gorkys Hernandez. That thing drops. Really good chance that Tony will score. I mean, Tony had to wait not too far from the bag.
Well, talk about a handsy hitter. Marquez also got some hands, because that ball was right on the barrel. You could hear it. It sounded loud when he hit it. Gorkys Hernandez eyeballing it in on the Subaru Supermo and then slides. That helps you stop that momentum so he could get up and throw.
Charlie had a base hit in the 1st inning. Trying to give the Rockies the lead here in the 2nd. starting to get locked in.
Yes, he is.
And now the next part of him being locked in, because he's spraying line drives everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw out 3, 4, 5 more home runs here in the stretch run. 1-1.
You know, as a hitter too, that's we talk about it. Power is sometimes the last thing to come. But if I feel like I'm good in the box mechanically, I feel like my swing is where I need it to be, then you can start to do some other things to manipulate the baseball to get it up airborne more. But I think for Charlie, though, he's taking the last 10 games of hitting over 333. He likes that component.
Popped up foul ground, and this is going to be close, but it's in the camera well and out of play. Fortunately, Charlie gets another opportunity. Ball and 2 strikes. Charlie goes down. The Rockies get even on a David Dahl home run to the bullpen in right center field. As we go to the 3rd, it's Colorado 1 and San Francisco 1. By Dish Network, better TV for all. Gerardo Parra going to make sure the dugout is upbeat always. Number 1. Hanging out with John Gray, getting him ready for his next start, making sure that he's properly groomed. He's the best, is he not? How about John? No problem.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Classic.
Parra's beautiful, man.
He is.
Derek Rodriguez at the plate. And he swings and misses. The former outfielder 0-2.
Well, he had a double here in his first major league game. Double off the right center field wall.
And he strikes out on a slider. 4 strikeouts now in the ball game. First time through for Marquez, and with 1 out, Gregor Blanco coming up. Let's check in again with Taylor McGregor. Hey Taylor, are you calm down now from that quick ride from down south to the ballpark?
Yeah, I was so calm. You know, it took me a while to calm down. No, I was loving it. I was thriving. Are you kidding? How many times do I get a ride in a purple Porsche? So fun to spend time with Vinny. I knew people were going to talk about how loved he is, and sure enough, Ashley sending in this tweet. He might be honored as number 4, but Vinny Castilla is number 1 in my heart. I can see why she would think that. Vinny has a heart of gold. He's truly one of those people that you see and he brightens your day. And Drew and Huey, you've spent a lot of time around him. You can attest to that.
Vinny's one of those people that is universally adored. Desmond's got it because we're all around people, and you get a very quick sense when the first time meeting Vinny of how genuine he is as a person, how good a guy he is as a person. It just comes out right away.
There's nothing fake about Vinny.
No.
You know, some people, it takes you a minute to kind of read him. Might even take you 2-3 weeks, sometimes even years, until their true colors come out. But for Vinny, no. You know what you're getting. You're getting a great guy, great human being.
We were just talking about Gerardo Parra. Same kind of guy. You just you want to be around them. You gravitate to them.
Makes your day better. Makes it brighter. The positive people.
Yeah, I mean, Carr goes that way. We always, said that so many times. You never come away hanging out with Vinny and are not in a better mood. Here's the 0-2. Inside on Panic at 97. I like that Marquez will go do that. He'll work 95, 94, 95, boom, 98.
Some guys don't have that luxury. He does.
This is over the head of DJ, barely. So Panic, a 2-out single.
What's it about Joe Panic? Guy always, didn't he set a Giants record? Most hits in a 3-run series a few years back. Coming into the game, hitting .241, has missed 48 games.
But he's hit against the Rockies.
Ooh. Look at how high the elevation was on DJ on the Subaru Supermo.
Brandon Belt hit the ball pretty well to center field his first time up. It's caught out there by Charlie. Down and in on the former Texas Longhorn.
They got the all lumberjack team with Brandon Belt and the guy that pitched yesterday, Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, they're big, strong guys, clearly. And Buddy had something interesting to say about good pickup, man. That's a really good pickup by Desi at first. About Bumgarner. You watch him on television, and I don't think with him, people at home get a true feeling for just how big a guy he is.
I think Belt's the same way.
Belt's a big man. Part of that is Joey Votto's this way, Huey, and you and I have talked about this, because they hit out of a little bit of a crouch. Belt does, Votto, even more of a crouch. So you think, well, they don't appear as big. Joey Votto, just like Brandon Belt, they're 6'4". They're in that 230 range. One. Good looking pitch on the outside corner at 97. It's 1-2.
Yeah, well received too by Tony to get that strike on the Subaru strike zone.
So the 2 shakes with the fist, getting him to shake.
Yep. I don't want to give away the throw sign, but just kind of go through the sequence there, and you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Throw over to first.
He was trying to get the punch out on that. There's times that you're trying to work off a corner.
2-2
on Belt.
Gets a curveball away.
And it's a great one. That finishes Belt. Strikeout number 5 for Marquez. Panic left at first. The Rockies won, the Giants won. And at the bottom of the 3rd, it'll be LeMahieu, Arenado, and Gonzalez.
And the Giants for the win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch to keep the lead. Second latest the Rockies have been in first place. You got to go back to 95, but remember that was the lockout year to start with. So there was only 144 games played that year, and that was game 139 when they had the lead. The Rockies are game 138 tonight. So not only this game, but keep the lead in the National League West standings.
And DJ quickly ahead 2-0 on Derek Rodriguez. Arizona hosting San Diego again tonight. That game has yet to start. The Dodgers hosting the Mets. That game is yet to start. Arizona's lost 4 in a row. I was reading some of the clippings from Phoenix earlier today. And it's almost apocalyptic right now because they're struggling on offense. There was one writer who suggested this may be the last opportunity to make a run with this group for Arizona because Corbin's a free agent, Goldschmidt after 2020.
I know there was a little disagreement in the clubhouse the other day between some of the writers and Steven Souza Jr. He thought that they were a little hard on the club when they weren't scoring runs, so that's part of the business.
Listen, writers are paid to be objective and cover the team.
And they're just asking the question.
They're asking.
Kind of like
they're supposed to be.
Kind of like that poor sideline reporter asking Nick Saban about the quarterbacks.
And Nick Saban to Maria Taylor, and Nick Saban evidently called Maria Taylor the next morning and apologized, as he should have done. This is broken bat roller to Belt. 1 out. And I read somewhere somebody said, it should have been, it should have been a public apology. The most important thing is I think he apologized. But reporters are, and members of the media are a conduit to the folks at home who don't have the opportunity to ask a question about a struggling offense, or in the case of the University of Alabama, the 2 terrific young quarterbacks they have, and they both played, and it's a natural question. Where are you after watching them play their first game of the year?
But if you're the other teams looking in on Arizona, you don't mind that sort of doubt that's happening right now. They're one of the teams chasing you.
Sure. Nolan behind, 0-2. He walked his first time up. Ivan Derek Rodriguez, born in Arlington, grew up in Miami, and that's strike 3. That's that good curveball that you were speaking of earlier.
Just a 149 batting average against on the curveball.
Third strikeout for Rodriguez. Fans, when the Rockies score 7 or more, they've done it the last 2 days. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special at Moss at Taco Bell. Now Cargo swung through 3 elevated fastballs his first time up. Rockies at first and second in the first with 1 out and did not score. It's out of play along the third base line.
On the shift on Cargo.
One to Carlos. He's fooled there, 1-2.
He's having a little difficult time picking up the spin on the curveball. Elevated fastball.
See if they go up there again, and they got him the first time. That was not.
Just in enough though on the Subaru strike zone. Just couldn't catch.
It looked like it cut a little bit at the end.
And he will throw a cutter. Usually not as hard though. That's in the mid 80s. 86 to 88 will the cut fastball appear.
Rockies' run came on a David Dahl home run leading off the second. 1-1, bottom of 3. Rockies won yesterday in a crazy one, a heart-stopping victory, 9-8. Game they led 7-2, and you thought it was going to be comfortable. Cargo waited there.
You know what? I think we need to forget about that. I think we would all like to have more comfortable games, but I just think it's part of the way the season is unfolding.
So another 1-2. Pretty good battle going on here. Well, our good friend on the Giants side, standing broadcaster and former big leaguer Dwayne Kuiper, did a year of Rockies baseball back in the very, very early days. There's Kuip working with Jeremy Affeld tonight. The best of Mike Krukow. Kruk's back home watching. 3-2. Kuip, the last time they won the World Series, the Giants were the same thing. They were like the Rockies. There was a lot of Tums and meds needed for the heart, and the word he used every night was torture.
Kind of fitting at times, right?
Yeah. I mean, we both get so many texts during the game and after the game from good friends, and they're living and dying with every pitch, and it is the proverbial roller coaster ride. But that's why we love the game also, right? 3-2 again, and this is in foul ground, and nobody can get there because of the shift. Longoria got a little exercise. So Cargo's now officially been up there for 35 minutes. Dougie, how many pitches is it this AB? 11 coming up.
Well, win the battle then.
Dougie didn't have to write it down.
Pretty soon that Subaru strike zone is going to be closed off.
Yeah.
Not going to know where the edges are.
And he went to the hook and he got him. Well, Rodriguez Approval from Dad. 1, 2, 3, third, 2 strikeouts.
AT&T Sportsnet Rocky Mountain to cast your vote. What is your favorite old school Rockies nickname? A, El Matador for Vinny Castilla. B, the Big Cat. We all know who that is. C, the Todd Father, not Todd Frazier with the Mets. And D, Josh Fogg, the Dragon Slayer. You can go to at AT&T Sportsnet Rocky Mountain to cast your vote. I'll let you guys answer, and then I'll come in over the top. Guys.
First pitch to Evan Longoria is in there for a strike. You know what? I just love the whole story. They're all great nicknames, but I love the whole story behind Fogger and all those big names he took down in that run in 07. So I'm going to vote for the Dragon Slayer.
I'm right there with you. And I like the picture that was painted for him, slaying all the guys, all the teams. So I'm going with the Fogger and the Dragon Slayer.
What do you have, Spilly?
You love stealing my thunder. I'm going to go with the Todd Father just because, but yes, the Dragon Slayer in that painting was the best thing ever. There was a baseball through the dragon's forehead.
Where were you going to go before we answered? Were you going to go?
I was going to go Dragon Slayer, and then you guys both went Dragon Slayer, so I went Todd Father.
We never talked to you other than in the broadcast, so there's no way you could have known that.
Nope. Big Cat was great, though.
Outside of here?
No.
I don't even acknowledge his presence outside of here. We make it look good on television, like, oh, big happy family and stuff. We can't stand it. It's a jerk.
We pick our friends in about 2 months.
Spilly, for the 4 people that will take us seriously out there, we love you deeply.
Yeah, we are just
really?
kidding, folks. Yeah,
yes.
don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Hey, by the way, can we get a shot of you? I want to direct a little bit. Mike Fox, can we get a shot of Spilly here after the pitch with one of your 37 cameras? Put your feet up. What do you got going?
What do you think I got going?
I just want to make sure. You haven't said anything yet.
I'm going to head up to the rally seat. I haven't done that yet. And
don't prematurely go to the rally seat.
No, I'm just saying I'm planning on going to the rally seat at some point.
Are those your pistachios?
No, they're Danny's sitting next to me. They are good, though. Hopefully I don't knock them over.
Nice. 1-2. It's up on Crawford. 2-2. Crawford hit a fly ball to fairly deep center field his first time up. Pretty good pitching matchup developing between Marquez and Rodriguez. This is a hard shot, knocked down by Story, and he has time, and he realized that. And threw a perfect strike to Ian Desmond, 2 outs.
Well, I think Trevor was a little indecisive, only because he didn't know if this ball was going to get to him in the air, if he's going to be able to catch it, if he had to short hop it, what was going to happen. And ended up just short hopping, knocking it down. And once he did that, able to throw on the run to get Brandon Crawford.
Nick Hundley with 2 outs. Struck out his first time. Changeup down low. Nick, of course, played for Buddy in San Diego on the outside corner, bottom of the zone, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Set up away, slider.
The feel on the slider for him right now, and think back to last year, it was probably his second pitch because his curveball was his first off-speed pitch.
Do you know what? It's in the level right now at John Graves when John's on with his slider, and he went to it again. He get another strikeout. 1, 2, 3, 4th inning, 6 strikeouts for German Marquez.
Vinny Castilla, and nobody loves Vinny more than Cargo. In fact, Cargo had Vinny Castilla and his wife Samantha be the godparents of his twins Carlota and Genova, and today I asked him why.
Well, just the relationship over the years. You know, we've been together for over a decade, so Vinny is just one of those guys that ever since I came to this organization, he took me under his wings. He always protected me, always tried to make sure that I was doing the right things, when I was a young kid. And, he's still out there making sure that I'm still doing the right thing.
He definitely is out there making sure Cargo is doing the right thing almost every single day when I walk into the clubhouse. Cargo and Vinny are together talking about baseball, talking about life, playing cards sometimes. They are very, very close, guys.
Yeah, that's a neat story. Found off by Trevor Story. You saw Garrett Hampson, by the way, in that shot of the dugout. The Rockies have added several more players now that the AAA season is complete. So Buddy's got some more guys at his disposal. There's Raimel Tapia. Sam Howard's down in the bullpen. DJ Johnson down in the bullpen. In the air to right. So Story's retired. Hampson's been up and down a couple times this year.
Some of the particulars, as you were just talking about, and Daza was recalled but placed on the 60-day. That's kind of a procedural move so they could open up a spot on the 40-man roster for DJ Johnson. Get him on the active roster. But something different for Garrett Hampson. He had to change his number.
I'm a little bit, you know, he has to be miffed at the fact that Matt Holliday came aboard and took his number.
Yeah, so he was wearing number 7 the first few times up, and now he's wearing number 1.
David Dahl hit a home run his first time up with 2 strikes. That's how the Rockies got on the board. Launch one into the Rockies bullpen.
I don't think they'll go to a fastball here, because that's what they went to when he launched this one 399 feet.
Yep, there's a breaking ball.
Well, if I got beat by a fastball up where I thought I could get him and then he hit it out, I'm not throwing it there again when it's 0-2. His curveball's been really good tonight. His last 3 strikeouts have been on curveballs.
He's retired 6 in a row since the Walters double.
Has a feel for pitching.
He really does.
Because
you look at his minor league numbers. I'm surprised he was a minor league free agent, because in Minnesota's system he had a 356 career earned run average.
He's also the team that drafted him too, so you thought he would have got a little more leeway.
Yeah.
Maybe he opted out and said, you know, after 6 years, he elected to become the minor league free agent.
He gets a strikeout on Dahl. That's 5 strikeouts for Rodriguez. And again, this isn't shocking that he's pitching well. You look at what he's done so far this year. We showed you the numbers off the top of the broadcast. You know, a 6-2 mark with a 2.47 ERA.
6 wins are second most among National League rookies in wins.
6+ innings and allowing 2 or fewer runs in 10 of his first 12 starts. Desmond takes a slider down low. Time for our Lowe's whole team together. As with the big numbers against the Giants, including this guy, Ian Desmond. You said it earlier in the broadcast, and it bears repeating. You know, Ionetta's double gets a lot of play. Obviously, Cuevas rolling the ball up the middle to drive in the tying and ultimately winning runs. But the rally was started by Desi yesterday.
Just to get the momentum back for the club. Because it's easy to get your dauber down after you fall behind and you've been leading the whole game and you think you got the game in the bag with just 6 outs to go. And then he rallies the troops again right after that.
Desmond's reached its 17th straight against the Giants. 364 average. And this is in the air to fairly deep right field, and it is over the head of Blanco. And Desmond into second with a double with 2 gone.
Blanco misjudged this ball. I don't think he expected Desi to hit this ball that far. 17th double this season. Excuse me. You can watch Blanco. This ball is being hit. The curveball inside out. Still gets some good wood on it. But Blanco comes in thinking he's got to be able to do that, and then has to reroute. By that time, it's too late over his head. And then just play it off the wall.
They're going to go ahead and pitch to Tony. His first base open, pitcher on deck and 2 outs. And that's on the inside corner for a strike. Tony lined a double to the left field corner his first time. We're tied at 1 as the Rockies hit in the bottom of the 4th.
Coming into this game, the Rockies had been 9 for their last 30 and 300 average with runners in scoring position. Heads up. Be careful, Spilly.
Here you go, Tony. I got it.
And then he just tossed it perfectly to him.
Folks, there's a long hallway from the players' parking lot to where the Rockies clubhouse is. And sometimes guys will have different modes of transportation. Well, if you hear a horn honking and you're walking down the hall, it's Parr coming on his scooter.
Yeah, most guys use mode of transportation. Some guys are skateboards, other guys just are good old 2 feet. Watch it, you Spilly diving in the background.
This kicks away, way away. Oh, hit him, okay.
Yeah.
For a moment, that was in one of those places where Desmond would have rounded third and taken a look. Especially if Nick Hundley couldn't find the baseball initially.
Yeah, well,
but it did get Tony.
And he did the right thing, just taking off. But it gets Tony on that front. Ooh, right on the foot, on the ankle bone. Yeah, that hurts, Tony.
Well, Herman almost drew out a hit his first time up. Gorkys Hernandez made a really nice catch in center field. And this is bounced to third. Longoria reached down, throws out Marquez, but again, Marquez hit it with some authority. We're tied at 1 going to the 5th.
His famous 1998 All-Star and Silver Slugger season. Vinny hit .319 with 46 home runs, 144 RBIs. It's good for a 911 OPS, 911 like his Porsche that he has out in the parking lot today. Just little side notes in that 1998 season. Mark McGwire led baseball with 70 home runs. Sammy Sosa, we remember the McGwire-Sosa race. 158 RBI, so Vinny finished 4th in the National League. Pretty remarkable season, guys.
He had a lot of remarkable seasons. This guy's having a remarkable second half. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Chris Shaw, Gorkys Hernandez, Derek Rodriguez. Shaw on his first at bat hit a ground ball to second to DJ. That ball he hit out yesterday was his first career hit. He did it with mom in attendance. It went 468 feet. This is fouled off. That is the second longest home run in the StatCast era for a San Francisco Giant. This is a big, strong kid, man. He's out of Boston College.
Yeah, Brandon Belt has the longest. Belt's went 475 feet.
I asked him today if he got the baseball, and he said we're in the process. He said they got the baseball, now it's being authenticated. But that's pretty cool that he'll get that souvenir. Fastball just off the plate.
Wanted to have your first hit be a pinch hit home run.
And he was behind 2 strikes. Herman's ready. Here's the 1-2. And he got him with a fastball up at 98. That is strikeout number 7.
Well, we saw that bat toss a little bit ago by Gerardo Parra. I'm going to judge this. See how it goes. He decided to go underhand so he could make sure it landed properly into the hand of Tony. And Tony didn't even drop it.
Perfect throw.
It was. It was good. That's a long way to toss a bat, too.
DJ makes the play on Hernandez. 2 gone. Pitcher Rodriguez coming up.
Yeah, fans, if you're interested in a suite for the postseason, call 303 Rockies for more information. Availability is limited, so you better act now.
How about this, Huey, for Herman? Over his last 7 starts, 7.5 now, he has 68 strikeouts and 10 walks. Almost a 7-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Is that any good?
Yeah, and his whip, too, just because of the limit on walks is pretty good.
And the fact that the league's hitting 177 against him coming in. 0-2 on Rodriguez. 0-3 on Rodriguez. And another quick and efficient inning featuring a couple more strikeouts. 8 strikeouts as we turn the page to the bottom of the 5th inning in a 1-1 ball game. Top of the order coming for the Rockies. Arenado. It's time for At the Dish, brought to you by the Dish Network. Charlie has scored 99 runs this year, so his next run, Huey, will be number 100, and then it will be 3 straight years that he scored 100 or more. You like that?
Yeah, thanks for doing that math for me. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Todd Helton, 6 straight 100-run seasons. Charlie leads the National League in runs scored.
It also just tells you how hard it is to do it for as many years as Charlie, Matt, Larry, and then 6 for Todd.
If the Rockies can figure out Derek Rodriguez this inning. Swung on and missed. Charlie a base hit and a strikeout against him. You know, Nolan scored 87 runs this year. He's got a chance again to eclipse 100 runs. Hundley on the move, not handled at first by Belt. So Charlie aboard. See how they score that. It's a tough play for Nick. I think you got to score to hit. Hundley was able to get it on the the big hop, but he's throwing off balance, and it is a bunt single.
And with all the gear on too, he just buried it. Brandon Belt could not come up. I like this. So you weren't taking real good passes at him. He had some different pitches to hit. You just weren't able to do it. Lay down a bunt, start some things.
Find a way to beat the opposition. That's what that man is all about. So the Beard's at first. And here's his best buddy, DJ LeMahieu. A strike at the knees. DJ hit a deep drive to left. A really good play by Chris Shaw, crashing into the fence in the first inning. Then he hit a routine ground ball to Panic.
Might be an opportunity back into a 1-1 count, maybe a hit and run count now.
Well, he's been around the plate.
Just try to open up a hole.
Tony Diaz coaching for Buddy at first base. Shallow center, and Hernandez got a late jump, but he got there.
Sunday, September 9th is Dia de los Rockies. The first 10,000 fans through the gates will receive a Los Rockies jersey and come early for a pregame concert on the rooftop featuring Escali, presented by Coors Light.
So that'll bring up Arenado. A walk and a strikeout looking. Time for Nolan to do what he always does, torment the Giants. This one is going to land in the first row behind the Rockies dugout. Last 4 years, 20 home runs against San Francisco. Remember at 15 and 16, between those two seasons, he drove in 48.
Seemed like a lot of that too. I mean, there was some here, but there was a lot out at AT&T, it seemed like.
Yeah, you're right. And this is on the ground to short. There's one, and there is two. So Derek Rodriguez gets the Rockies in order after that double play. fees. That's transparency. And that is a gorgeous sight. Beautiful array of lights in our gorgeous city. 1-1, we're going to the 6th inning. Contrast from yesterday where the Rockies prevailed 9-8. Derek Rodriguez has been good. And German Marquez has been, well, German Marquez. Top of the order, Gregor Blanco. You know who Gregor Blanco works out with in the offseason a fair amount?
Cargo?
Not Cargo, because Cargo's up in Orlando.
Yeah.
Gregor lives down in Miami, so he's with GPs, with Gerardo Parra.
Okay.
That's fouled off. 2 strikes quickly. Marquez gave up the run in the 1st inning. The first hitter was Blanco, and he kind of punched a line drive to left when he was behind in the count. He ended up stealing 2nd, and then panic hit a roller right down the 3rd base line for a base hit and an RBI. And since that time, German has retired 15 of the next 16. That's pretty good. And he's done it quickly. A little bit low and a little bit outside. 2-2.
And 8 strikeouts on top of the 13 he had in his last start against San Diego.
Yeah, but they're not 3-2 punch outs. They're like 0-2 or 1-2 and see you later. 3 or 4 pitches like that. Change up. Man, it's a whole variety that he can get, John. We've seen him with the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. We've seen the slider naturally, and that was a changeup.
Yeah, so I've got 2 fastballs, 1 changeup, 3 sliders, and the rest curveballs. So it tells you what he's got working tonight. That is a glorious 4-pitch mix.
Joe Panik has 2 of the 3 hits. And that's on the outside corner. What a joy it must be for Tony Walters. Put down any finger and you're going to get a well above average version of that pitch where you set up. Well, it's a curveball. And now shake from the slider to the fastball away, and that's a strike.
And where you're located on the Subaru strike zone too. He shook to that. He wanted to throw that pitch there.
And he's hitting the glove virtually every time. He is locked in, man. 15 of 20 first pitch strikes, and this is bounced to short. Story throws him out. 2 outs. Taylor McGregor in center field. What do you know?
I know one thing, that fans love Vinny Castilla. We've been saying it all night, how adored he is amongst everybody in the clubhouse, but also all around the community of Denver. Here's Gigi saying, my boys have so many memories at Coors Field, and Vinny was a part of it. The Rocks know how to take care of their fans, and I think building off of this, Vinny is so important to this organization because people want to cheer for people who they like, and when you have a guy like Vinny Castilla who represents your organization, it's only going to do good things for you. True.
Yeah, and I think one of the beautiful things about next strike 2 on Brandon Belt, paint outside, paint inside. Rockies are celebrating their silver anniversary. That's why we're celebrating guys like Vinny Castilla, right? There's some tradition now.
Exactly,
and there's some great players that wore your uniform, and it's great that the Rockies are embracing them and keeping them around.
I mean, how about this? 306 home runs for a 3rd baseman. That's 12th most in Major League history.
He had a fabulous career. And like the guy who's playing 3rd right now, great 2-way player. In the dirt with the curveball, 1-2. Marquez ready. 1-2 on Belt. There's that changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This is rare.
Yeah, I don't remember a 3-2 count, or if there has been one, it's been a while. It's actually the first 3-ball count, period. You know, when you wiggle that the finger, it's normally a sinker. And if that was a two-seam fastball, that was 98.
I think that's what he was asking for. He says he wants a fastball down and away.
Hard hit baseball and a single with 2 outs from Brandon Belt.
Oh, Belt earned that base hit.
Yep, good at bat.
Yeah. He got ahead 0-2. And Belt took 3, fouled 1 off, and finally was able to pull one for a base hit.
So that'll bring up Longoria. Evan a strikeout and a ground ball to short. And at the knee, swung through at 97. .32-year-old Evan Longoria. 10+ years now of service time. Oh, 2.
You got a 97 fastball, 87-mile-an-hour slider. That's what they struck him out in the first inning on, was a slider at 87.
Good block by Tony. Longoria, for his 31st birthday, his wife surprised him. It was right after the travel ban was lifted to Cuba. And his wife took Evan down to Cuba for a 5-day excursion. Pretty neat to see that island and how much they love the game of baseball down there. 1-2.
Evans, the all-time leader for the Rays in games, runs, doubles, home runs, RBIs. All those years down to Tampa.
Slider's been a good pitch against righties. And runner going. Belt is safe. Well, that's what the Giants been doing lately. They don't have a burner. They don't have anybody in double digits in steals, but they have a few guys that, have 4, 5, 6 steals. Belt every once in a while, he's not fast, will do this.
They just kind of guess right. They figure with 2 strikes might go an off-speed pitch. He gets his toe in just before the tag on the Subaru Supermo. 4 for 4 stolen bases on the year for Belt, and he had a bad knee too. He missed some time with that knee.
Back-to-back 3-2 counts. And Herman loses Longoria, so it's the first walk of the game, and now you have 2 on for a left-handed hitter in Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, kind of scary because you got the first 2 guys rather easily in the strikeout and the ground ball. Yeah, Brandon Belt 0-2, you didn't put him away. And then you were heading the count to Longoria, and he ends up pulling a walk.
On every team, especially in the West, where you know their roster so well, there's always 1 or 2 guys in a tight game that you don't want to see coming up. With the Dodgers, it's easy. You don't want to see Justin Turner coming up tight late. Even though Brandon Crawford has been scuffling in the second half after a terrific first half, he's not a guy you want to see up.
Yeah, maybe because you've seen him up in these situations so many times and he's been able to come through.
Crawford through the middle of June hit .329. He's hit below 200 since then, and I think a lot of it has to do with the balky knee.
He doesn't have a good base when he's hitting. Whenever your knees or your ankles hurt as a hitter, you don't want to have that. Even if it's your back leg or your lead leg, it just throws off the timing and the balance of your swing.
Downstairs, 1-0.
This is the first time here in the 6th inning that he's had to throw out of the stretch since the 3rd inning.
been able to extend the pitch count all of a sudden, and the next pitch will be number 90. One and one. Tough, smart, competitive guy with an enormous amount of talent. German Marquez. 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2. One of the keys for a starting pitcher, as you well know, Jeff, is, and this is where the cerebral part comes in, you have to be able to absorb a game plan and maintain focus pitch to pitch for 2.5 hours.
Because if you don't, then you make that one mistake, you're on the wrong side of the ball game.
Swung on, foul tip, held, another 98-mile-an-hour heater, and that little threat is put down. Strikeout number 10 for Marquez. Get him some runs. Good. We'll check it before he's even out of the game. German, a run on 4 hits through 6 innings. 10 more punch-outs to go with the 13 he had in his last outing against the Padres. Our Kubota pitching performance, and he's delivered 92 pitches.
Get him some runs. Let's go.
That would be a grand idea.
Come on.
Cargo's going to lead it off. Cargo has struck out twice against Rodriguez. His last at bat went, I believe, 11 pitches, and he struck out on a 3-2 curveball. Cargo fouled off a number of pitches, so time for a little payback. And this is sharply hit, but it's hit panic.
So the last 4 outs for Derek Rodriguez have taken 8 pitches. Fans, MLB at Bat is your #1 Rockies app. You can customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Rockies home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
So with 1 out, here's Trevor. 2 home runs, 2-run shot, 3-run shot yesterday, 5 driven in, tied for the club lead now with Nolan at 92 RBIs.
Remember that ball he hit in San Diego the other day? I think it was Sunday, Drew.
That we thought was out?
Yeah, I talked to him today about that because I was talking about the home runs. I said, do you think you got that? He goes, absolutely. He goes, I crushed that ball on Sunday.
The wind had to be blowing in quite a bit. We were visiting earlier today with one of my all-time favorite people with the Rockies. There's Damon Ionelli on the right, love Damon, and Danny Montgomery, who's one of 4 original guys on the scouting side. That's loud to right. He's got to get down and a win. A base hit for Trevor with 1 out in front of Dahl. Danny, top assistant to Billy Schmidt on the scouting side, vice president of scouting, Billy Schmidt. And Danny has been here before the Rockies ever played a game. And a lot of the scouts are in. About half the scouts are in right now, and the other half will come next week when the Rockies take on Arizona. And he remembers the first time he laid eyes on Trevor Story at Irving High School, and he said, man, you just tell he was an athletic kid. He loved him from the moment he saw him. And what's great is when the scouts come back around, that's inside, and they get to see a guy they may have seen as an 18-year-old in the case of Trevor. And you know, Danny's around a fair amount, but he's out on the road the vast majority of the time. He gave Trevor a big hug today. He was telling me, he goes, dude, this is unbelievable. He goes, I feel like I'm going to break a nail on his body. I mean, he is absolutely ripped.
Yeah, be able to see him grow year after year after year. Because you're invested in him. You know, you scout him, and then you turn them over to player development. They do their thing. So I want to give props to not only scouting, but also player development who just finished their year. I mean, we got a couple clubs still at the playoffs, but they work their tail off too.
There's 3 league MVPs in the Rockies system this year. How special is that? You talk about scouting and development. The 3 are Nolan's cousin Josh Fuentes in the PCL. Casey Golden in Asheville is named MVP of the Sally League, and Coco Montez in Grand Junction MVP of the Pioneer League. And these scouts, man, all the work they put in and the hours on the road and the reports sent in. And when a guy becomes a Rocky, I mean, just a Rocky at the minor league level, and then if they're fortunate enough to eventually graduate here, I mean, you couldn't have more pride. Eddie Santa's another scout. He's in the Midwest. He's based in Columbus, Ohio. Eddie's been with the Rockies from day one. He has 2 guys right now on the big league roster, in Harrison Musgrave, fouled off, and Tom Murphy. And I mean, I can't tell you how much that means to an area scout. It's just so profoundly important to them.
It's like a piece of you is in the big leagues.
Absolutely.
And that's where you feel on the player development side when you help somebody reach the big leagues. Take that next step.
2-1, and this is going to go foul. Rodriguez been pretty quick to the plate.
Yeah, I got him 1-2-2, 1-2-5. I'm sure his dad instilled that in him. Say, okay, you're going to be a pitcher. You better be quick to the plate, because not everybody has an arm like I have.
3-2.
I think you'll get action here. You'll get action with Trevor going in first.
Now, this has been at times a curveball count for Rodriguez. There goes Story. Strike 3, and Trevor will steal the bag though. And he went to the curveball. So Dahl is the second out, but Story's in scoring position for Ian Desmond.
24th stolen base on the year for Trevor. Dropped that curveball in, and because of the lack of speed on that, because it was a pretty high leg kick for Rodriguez, Trevor gets in easily.
Well, the right guy's up for the Rockies, because nobody in baseball has driven in more runs against the NL West this year than Ian Desmond. Look at that. 45 ribbies inside the division. Trevor Nolan on the list. Paul Goldschmidt, Matt Kemp. Inside. Desi a double to the opposite field his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Rockies a run on 6 hits, no errors. The Gigantes a run on 4 hits, no errors. Rockies batting in the bottom of the 6th.
Free to come in on the Subaru strike zone. I mean, he's gone all 4 quadrants tonight. In, out, up, down. Hard with the fastballs, soft curveballs, some change-ups.
90th pitch upcoming. He's due up 4th next inning. Here's the 1-1.
Rodriguez, he's given up 3 runs or less in 12 straight starts, so it's not like it's been a fluke what he's been doing.
The Rockies are playing Rockies baseball at home the last couple of months. 24-10 their last 34 dates at 20th and Blake. 1-2. And that's fouled off.
For tonight, the Rockies 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
Looking at Gregor Blanco in right. He's backed up quite a bit. Slid a little closer to the line. Desi takes the pitch. It's 2-2. Arizona an early lead, 3rd inning lead at home against the Padres, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. They're up 2-0. No score in the 1st. Los Angeles and the New York Mets.
Yeah, Robbie Ray down in Arizona and Joey Lucchesi for San Diego.
2-2. And a line shot, but panic is right there. That'll end the 6th. Can't hit it any harder. Still tied at 1.
Of all time. Vinny grew up dreaming of playing Major League Baseball, but what I wanted to know is when it became a reality to him that he would not only play Major League Baseball but be one of the best Rockies to ever do it.
Sometimes it's surreal. Sometimes it's you don't believe it. Sometimes when I was doing it and I went to the All-Star games and have those great years, it's like you in a dream that you don't want to wake up from, because everything was so smooth.
Vinny went on to say this game can humble you so quickly. So one of the things that he did throughout his entire career was just respect the game and know that it could flip on a dime. So when things are going well, just enjoy it, guys.
He had the perfect personality, Taylor, to play this game in that, you know, Vinny let things just roll off his back, and we always talk about him being in a great mood, and there's some guys that when they're 1 for 15, man, they're wearing it, and most guys are probably that way. Huey, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, yeah. Some just internalize it a little bit more.
But he, you know, I'm sure inside he was aware of it, but told the story many times. He could be 1 for 15 and then, you know, have a 2-homer game, and he's the star of the game, and afterward all the reporters ask him, hey, you were in a slump, and he goes, I was. I mean, he not literally, but you know, that's kind of how he rolled. Shaw at the plate, swings and misses after the single by Hundley.
Chris Russin up in the pen now. Scott Oberg was up just a little bit ago.
Quickly ahead, 2 strikes on Shaw.
Yeah, you'll get both Ottavino and Oberg back tonight after being down yesterday, but O's probably going to be down today and maybe even tomorrow.
Yeah,
with the off day then on Thursday.
Yeah, he's been real busy lately.
Just got a text from our good friend Thomas Harding, and this probably says it right about Vinny. Vinny Castilla is everything that's good about baseball.
Absolutely. Throw to second and out at second base. They tried it again. Belt took a bag last inning. This time for Nick Hundley. Did not work out.
Wow, and he really gambled here, thinking the ball was going to get away. Trevor had to go up, and it is indeed right before the foot goes on to the bag. I mean, Nick did everything. He didn't really hesitate, but Tony popped up, and that's being able to recover. And now you get the strikeout of Shaw.
That's huge. From a leadoff man at first, tried to advance on a dirt ball, which, you know, you encourage base runners to be.
I think it was the right play.
Yeah, I think Bruce Bochy is fine with that. 1-1 game. You teach guys to be aggressive.
Well, and a left-handed batter at the plate. So that blocks a view of the catcher.
Herman let it all eat right here. Swung on and missed. Ortiz Hernandez 0 for 2. Got to figure this will be all for Herman. He's due up second. The pitch count getting close to that magic number of 100.
Oh, no.
This ball's well hit left center field, and this one is gone.
Ortiz Hernandez again? Are you kidding me?
There hadn't been a bad pitch thrown by Marquez all night until that one. That was a slider that didn't do much and just was in the middle of the plate.
15 home runs on the year by Gorky, 7 against the Rockies.
And he was in a horrendous slump coming to Coors Field.
Now he's back-to-back days. He's hit home runs. Well, to his credit, he didn't miss that one. That was just a bad location on a slider. Been working the slider down and away from him, down and away, and that one backed up.
Pinch hitter for Derek Rodriguez, who all of a sudden goes to the plus side, is Ryder Jones. It's really remarkable. Gorky's Hernandez.
Right?
What was it, 8 career home runs coming into the year? He's got 20 home runs now in his career. Actually had 5 home runs coming into the year. And 8 of his 20 career home runs against the Rockies. Yeah, just saying, he knows that this is it for him. Herman. He left a slider center cut. That's a base hit for Jones.
That might be it then for Herman. But Blanco will panic and belt.
Buddy's jogging out. When he jogs, he doesn't necessarily have the hook. He wants to look in the eye of Herman.
He just said you got one more, but you got to get the ball down.
Buddy Black's a big fan of all his pitchers, and he takes care of them like his children. He's a big fan of the guy on the mound.
And really, I don't mind him leaving him in right here. Let him finish this inning.
He's earned it.
He has earned it. Yeah, the one bat slider wasn't good. He gave up a base hit then to the pinch hitter Ryder Jones. Okay.
The first inning run was, I don't want to call it flukish, but it wasn't. You know, the balls weren't barreled against him at all. So here's Blanco. Still a lot of gas in the tank. 98. 0-1.
You get this out, it's all said and done. You're going to go 7 innings and giving up 2 runs.
It's another winning performance, but Herman, as great a record as the Rockies have in his last 11 starts, are 8-3. I was looking back on all those starts. When Herman's been in the game, the Rockies have not scored much. It's just been one of those situations where.
Well, think to the game in San Diego, 8 innings, 2 earned runs, and he got a no decision in that game. That was a game that the Padres walked off the Rockies.
The previous game, he threw 7 shutout and got a no decision. That was the game where the Rockies blew it up in the 8th inning, won 9-1, 2-1.
For the whole month of August, in his 6 starts, gave up 10 earned runs. It was just 2-1. A little over 3 runs have been scored for Herman when he started his last 7 games. 3 runs a game.
Reyes Moranta has been up in the Giants bullpen. He'll be in the ball game evidently next. Three and 1.
He's really come out of his delivery.
And fatigue doesn't always show up by velocity.
No,
fatigue shows up by location.
That's what I mean. Just kind of overthrowing that front side's opening up. Spinning off instead of finishing out in front.
Runner going, and ball 4. Now Buddy's going to have to go get it. That panic coming up. So Marquez, home run, single, walk here with 2 outs in the 7th. 2-1 San Francisco. He'll go 6 2/3.
Dodgers in a pivotal 3-game series this Friday through Sunday. Get your tickets at Rockies.com. Pitcher for the Rockies, Chris Russell. I know yesterday's line's going to say for Chris 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, but was not helped by a ground ball that wasn't turned for a double play. This year, lefties hitting .215 against Chris. And Joe Panik due up first for the Giants.
Panik's 2 for 3. Ryder Jones at second, Blanco at first.
Panik on the year hitting .172 against lefties.
Second inning in Los Angeles, the Mets have taken a 2-0 lead on the Dodgers.
Jason Vargas for the Mets against Rich Hill for the Dodgers.
Gotta get this out right here. Keep it a 1-run game. And a ground ball to Desmond. He'll grab it and touch the bag. In the inning, a 2-out home run off the bat of, guess who? Gorkys Hernandez has given the Giants a 2-1 lead. Marquez was terrific tonight.
Tie up or even take the lead on the Giants. I am in my rally seat. It's that time. It's the 7th inning. It's time to move around. I got my popcorn. I basically ate it all. And now it's time to turn it into a bag for the hyperventilating. This is what we need. We need you at home to throw the cushions off the couch and do it. And eat. And by the way, this is how you take a popcorn bag and hyperventilate when you need it. We're ready for the 7th. Let's get some runs. Let's go! Let's go, Rockies!
Beautiful. Well, the Rockies are going to go to a couple of pinch hitters here. 8, 9, and 1 against Reyes Moranta. The first hitter will be Gerardo Parra. Ryan McMahon in the on-deck circle. Moranta, a rookie, has been outstanding for the Giants this year. Leadoff men are 2 for 50 against him. Another change for San Francisco in addition to Moranta taking over for Derek Rodriguez. In left field, Austin Slater is now in and Chris Shaw has come out.
We're on to 97 on average with this fastball.
It goes behind 2-0.
Yeah, it goes to 2 off-speed pitches to start with.
Outfield, a little bit of a shade toward the opposite gap. Good swing there at a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 2-1. Barr's been good in the pinch. 350 average, 7 out of 20.
Job laying off that one. Tried to sneak it into the bottom of the Subaru strike zone and just kept riding down.
So much more patient. Remember year one?
Oh my goodness.
For Parra.
If he saw 2 pitches, it was a long at bat.
He just could not walk. And look at more counts the last couple of years. 3rd year with the Rockies. 3-1.
Cut to it.
Man, he'll be next. Yeah, there'll be a whole lot of that going on this month.
Between that and scoreboard watching.
Rockies down 1-0 after an inning, tied it on a Dahl home run in the bottom of the 2nd. Now they're down 2-1 in the 7th. Looking for their 40th come from behind victory of the year. They're 2nd in the National League with 39 come from behind victories.
Battle going on right now.
Confidence it must give Buddy Black to know that when he calls on Parra, he's going to get a high caliber AB.
That's why he's one of those guys. It's not only what we've seen in the dugout, the locker room, but production on the field.
Oh man, they run him up at 3rd. Chris Caccione at 3rd said he went around.
I want to see this one from the side. Harvey didn't think so on the Subaru Supermo. Oh no, he didn't go. It's hard. There are a lot of hands going, but I didn't see the barrel travel.
Now McMahon with 1 out. On deck. This ball's hit well to center field. Way back. Tie ball game. Ryan McMahon once again.
Rally seat.
Home run number 5 for the rookie from Southern California.
scores his second pinch hit home run of the year. Little slider on the Subaru Supermo, and he stays through that one. Off the bat, we've seen this before, the power of this young man. Just like that, 102 miles an hour off the bat. Just like that, 2-2.
Get out the tubs. This is down the line, just foul. Ryan McMahon with a big fly, tied at 2. It's now 15 home runs since July 4th for the Rockies. 7th inning or later to either tie the game or put Colorado in front. That's a bunch. And you go back to the first half when the Rockies just couldn't score late in the game.
Well, the good thing too is it gets German Marquez off the hook because he was on the losing side when he departed. He didn't deserve that, and now it's 2-2.
This is going to be a tough play. Charlie's going to have an infield hit. I don't know how he hit that. Cricket, croquet. Pick your backyard lawn sport. And it was pulled off there by Blackman.
It's just not quite in the glove of Nick Hundley when he chopped that. Okay, we've heard of the Baltimore chop. There you go. That's it right there.
Mile high chop. 1 out. Speed at first and Blackman the go-ahead run. Here's LeMahieu. Charlie a quiet 3 for 4. Charlie's 12 for his last 20 at the plate. More recently, 8 for his last 12. What kind of times you get on that first delivery?
Pretty quick, 1-1-0.
Yeah, you don't run on 1-1.
Keep working it, Philly.
Blackman takes off, not a huge jump, throw still won't get him. He got an off-speed pitch, and that time Moronta was better than 1-4 to the plate.
He picked his spot to go. Higher leg kick. And Charlie goes sliding in for his 12th stolen base. Gets that foot on first before the Subaru, on the Subaru Supermo before the tag.
He moves in front of Larry Walker for second on the all-time stolen base list for the Rockies. And as you said, he's got 12 now. And I want to say 5 or 6 of them have been in the last 10 days. Important bags, not cosmetic bags.
Well, when he started that road trip in LA against the Angels, he had 8, so 4 in the last week.
DJ trying to drive him in. 2-2 after the McMahon pinch hit home run. Just gotta love this team.
Fun to watch.
They're fun to watch, and they are resilient. And they love keeping the audience around.
Keeps ratings up.
We thank them for that.
Everybody sticks around forever.
3-0 on DJ. The RBI hogs on deck. Ball 4. 2 aboard for Nolan.
It's time now for the Subaru StatCast on the home run by one Ryan McMahon. 102.4 miles an hour, launch angle 25 degrees. Distance over the wall. That's all that matters. 438 feet to be exact, though.
Ortiz Hernandez almost went over the wall also. Craig Young's going to go out to the mound. You know, it's like that great at bat put together by Gerardo Parra. Parra thought he had the walk. Looked like he checked his swing, called out. Ryan McMahon, young player, in the dugout. You know, you can see him smiling, spitting seeds, and having fun with his teammates, but ready to go when he's called upon. That was Parra, who you expect because he's a veteran. You know, nobody has more fun than Gerardo. But then Ryan McMahon also.
But maybe that at bat that Gerardo had, all the battling that he went to Maranta, affected his pitch and the ability to throw that slider. And then for Ryan, he didn't miss it.
So here's Nolan, 0 for 2 and a walk. Trying to give the Rockies the lead in the 7th. Outside wild pitch, everybody will move up. And now it simplifies the approach a little bit if you are Nolan.
Wanted a fastball away, then this just went right underneath the glove of Nick. I think they might just put Nolan on. Yeah, it is a wild pitch. I was just watching Bruce Bochy thinking.
It's interesting because it's right on right. You do set up a force all around, but now you have the left-handed hitting Carlos Gonzalez.
Well, they have the left-hander Ty Block warming up in their bullpen. And I think he's going to ask Nick. He's looking at Nick right now.
Go talk to him.
Go talk to him, yeah.
Well, if they go to Block, Carr goes 4 for 10 against Ty Block, the Regis High School product. There's not a manager in baseball that likes to match up more than Bruce Bochy, and he has been wildly successful in his career managing a bullpen. And here he comes. So Bochy will bring in Block, who was tutored as a young man in this game by Jeff Hewson. 2-2, bases loaded, 1 out for the Rockies. The bases are drunk with Rockies, and here comes Cargo. And Ty Block, the local kids on the mound. And with all due respect to Ty, I love this matchup because Cargo's 4 for 10 against Block. And Block has allowed lefties to hit 285 against him.
And about 46% of the time, too, it's in the air, fly balls. So you're looking at this matchup right now.
And the Rockies have plus speed at third and Charlie Blackmon the go-ahead run. LeMahieu's at second, Arenado at first. Cargo 0 for 3. And this is fouled off.
And if you're wondering about the arms, too, for San Francisco, they just put Slater out there for his defense. He has a plus arm. The other two guys are just average. So if they're charging real hard, maybe, but they're playing so deep right now that I think you'd be aggressive. If you're Stu Cole, you wave him, make him try to throw you out. And I'm talking about the trail runner, or even if it's a sac fly.
Here's the 0-1. Cargo super aggressive. That pitch in off the plate. It's 0-2. Tried that sweeper and missed. 1-2.
Ty's experience too as a starter, he does have 4 pitches.
Cargo base hit toward left center. This will score at least 2. All the way to the warning track, kicks around. Arenado will score. Cargo to third. Rockies are up 3. Cinco coming through big time in the 7th.
As a Cargo patented swing, ball away from him, he just laces it the other way.
The late night rocks, all for good in 2018, playing at a theater near you.
Wanted the ball in, didn't get in, and he extended the arms. Go ahead and come on home, Charlie, DJ, and Nolan. That's now 59 RBIs on the season for Cargo. It's a foot down, head down, everything. Just like that. Rockies up by 3 and not done yet.
Outside, nearly to the backstop. A triple to make it 5-2. Cargo behind in the count. And just unloaded to the gap in left center field. Gotta love it.
And now they're going to put Trevor on.
There you have David Dahl hitting from obviously from the left side behind him.
Drew, you said it. You like the matchup. Cargo and Ty Block. The number suggested it. And here it is again, one more time. So much fun to watch. Like a nice little 2-iron that just kept rolling.
Going 1 on Dahl. Keep the heat on here.
That's
get
right.
Get that 6th run home. Dahl, a tough guy to double up. Out of play down the left field line. That's strike 3. So Dahl goes down. Desmond coming up. Boch is going to come out again. Cargo with the big blow. The Rockies began the inning trailing by a run. They're now up 5-2.
Now pitching for the Giants, number 49, Sam Dyson.
I'm exhausted. Magic, you have not watched the Rockies this season. September baseball is meant for magic. It's meant for rally seats. It's meant for rally mustaches, boots, whatever you got. It works. Drew?
Spilly, you just keep doing your thing, brother.
I'm eating popcorn off the ground. What else can I possibly do?
We're okay with that. Sam Dyson's now in the ball game while Spilly
we'll drive him to the hospital.
Cleans up the top row of the ballpark.
I got you, buddy. You keep doing your thing.
2 outs, first and third. Desmond at the plate. The scorching liner last at bat right at the second baseman Joe Panic that kept the ball game at the time tied because Story was at second.
It was 104 miles an hour off the bat, that line drive.
Throwing over for the third consecutive time. I understand why. I mean, Story, a huge base stealing threat.
Already has one earlier in the game, and that was last inning.
This may be a freebie too, if he goes. I don't know, you know, because you have pretty good speed at third. I don't know if Nick throws through.
I don't think he does.
Story goes, look out, and Desi was walking out of the batter's box either way. He was just going to let Story go. That is a 25th stolen base.
Pretty close to a 30-30 guy we're watching now.
He will be a 30-30 guy because both, you think about it, Blackman, Story, Ian Desmond, they know what time of year it is. They're going to do everything in their power to win games. So the stolen base totals, which we've seen a lot of lately, they're going to keep rising. He will be a 30-30 guy. 1-0 on Desi. 1-1. And you hear something, we talk about all the extra base hits and the home runs and the RBIs. And he's talking about Story among the league leaders in so many categories. He's tied for 4th in stolen bases in the National League.
Kid can do it all.
He can do it all. He'll be in the conversation again for a Gold Glove. One and two. if you're bouncing around tonight on the old tube, shame on you, first of all. Second of all, Cargo moments ago cleared the bases with a triple to put the Rockies up 5-2. Desi trying to add on here. 1-2.
Remember too that this half inning started with the Rockies down by 1, and now 26 minutes later the Rockies are still hitting.
Desmond, the 9th man to hit here in the bottom of the 7th. Desmond, a ground ball to second, a double to deep right, and that line out we described a moment ago. Three and 2. Parra, who pinch hit to begin the inning, was called out on a questionable check swing on a 3-2 delivery. He's back in the on-deck circle. He had the unusual opportunity of being a pinch hitter who hits twice in an inning. He's hoping for that. 3 and 2. And he will have that opportunity with the bases loaded again. Good patient at bat by Desmond. He'll pass the baton to Parra. You can throw a knockout blow right now if you're Gerardo Parra.
Because you've done a lot of to the body blows, and now you get one more hit. That moment just a second from Gerardo where he was just taking a deep breath.
Fargo tripled. Story intentionally passed. Desmond at first. Nick Hundley's had to whip that glove all over the place tonight to try to save pitches from going to the backstop.
Third reliever the Giants have used this half inning.
We've got a pretty good track team on the bases right now with Cargo, Story, and Desmond. Here's the 1-0. In there, 1-1. Off the plate, 2-1.
Trying to flip the outside corner on the Subaru strike zone, but Dyson's been all over the place his first 9 pitches. Let's call the ball.
Two balls and a strike. 3 balls and a strike. Again, Gerardo Parra. So much better working counts the last couple of years. That first year in a Rockies uniform, he walked only 9 times. I think he was just overamped that first year in Colorado, trying to impress. Three and 1. Ball 4. That'll bring home another run. Cargo, come on down. 6-2 Colorado. The bases loaded walk. Ryan McMahon, who tied the game with a homer as a pinch hitter, is coming up.
He's facing a different pitcher this time. Last time it was Reyes Maranta. But this was the big blow of this inning. Again, a pinch hitter, 1 out, down by 1. Get those guys in the dugout excited, get the fans on their feet, get the rally seat going, get Spilly going, everything's happening.
Go ahead and have like a big inning, huh?
Goodness.
Five runs, seventh. Rockies hunting some more. Two strikes.
This is we're scoreboard watching. You know, in Arizona and LA, they're doing the same thing. And they go, oh, great, it's 2-1 Giants. And then they look up again. Oh, 6-2 Rockies.
Well, the Mets were up 4-0. The Dodgers just scored a pair. Strike three. On the corner. The Rockies send 11 to the plate. They score 5 runs. They have a 6-2 lead as we go to the 8th. Ryan McMahon tied it up. And then Cargo, a bases loaded triple.
Well, thanks to everyone who sent in their tweets and memories of Vinny. It was fun to celebrate him. Now we get to go from one great third baseman to another in number 3 greatest Rocky of all time. Guess who it is? Mr. Nolan Arenado, drafted in 09, brought up in 2013. He's been with the club at the big league level ever since, and we know how much fun he is to watch. 948 hits, 179 home runs, all along to go with those large ribbies, and 5-time Gold Glove Award winner. Man, is he fun to watch. It's going to be fun to celebrate him next week and talk with him about this huge honor, guys.
All right, Taylor, thanks very much. Right now, the only thing Nolan Arenado's focused on is helping get 6 more outs. Rockies up 6-2. Otto's in there, strike at the knees. Fastball to Brandon Belt. Middle of the order for San Francisco. Belt, Longoria, Brandon Crawford. Belt 1 for 3 tonight.
We're looking at that K column. Next one will be number 100 for Adam.
Yeah, that slider's in there. 0-2 quickly. Rockies have a new battery. Ottavino throwing to Iannetta. Fastball runs away, 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes.
That's kind of what Brandon Belt did his last time up. Different outcome, though, this time.
Three and two. That 5-run inning for the Rockies. There were 3 hits. There were 5 walks, and a couple of them were intentional, but the hits were big ones. A home run by McMahon and the bases clearing triple, of course, by Cargo. 3-2 here. And this is popped up. Shallow left. David Dahl puts it away, and Belt is retired. They'll bring up Evan Longoria. Strikeout, ground ball to short and a walk. German Marquez went 6 2/3. He gave up 2 runs on 7 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. He becomes just the 4th Rockies pitcher all time to have back-to-back double-digit strikeout performances. Pedro Estacio did it. Jorge De La Rosa did it in 09. John Gray 2 years ago. 0-2 quickly.
I've said it before. I still like it the way the guys still stay out there and finish cheering their team on for the rest of the game.
Yep, I'm with you. Bouncer to third, Nolan territory. 2 outs.
You take a behind-the-scenes tour of Coors Field. Group and individual tickets available year-round. Call 303-ROCKIES or go to Rockies.com/tours.
Two outs, nobody on for Crawford. 0 for 3. Deep fly ball to center, ground ball to short, and a strikeout. All 3 of those at bats against Marquez. Fastball. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's where it's nice too. If you can get this quick 1, 2, 3 inning after scoring 5 runs, kind of say, okay, and it just immediately puts the pressure right back on the Giants again. Kind of takes the wind out of their sails.
It's a dirty slider. 2-2. Ottavino has penned a great story in 2018 after a rough 2017. Beautiful things about sports, you never know. Ottavino did so much work that we've chronicled in the offseason, but working on where he landed with his lead foot. Spent a lot of money on a camera to break down his delivery. It's paid off.
You know what he wants? He wants a chance to be on the postseason roster. Remember last year he was left off it.
That's how rough a ride it was for him in 2017. I don't think he needs to worry this year.
No, I'm just saying, though, that's something that I know ate at him over the winter.
Sure. 3-2. This is popped up shallow left, and Dahl gets there. The speed of David Dahl Takes away a double for Brandon Crawford. It's a 1-2-3-8 for Adam Ottavino. The Rockies leading 6-2. Back to 20th and Blake after this. That's worthy of another look or two. Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get you 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Rockies in Lodo up 6-2 over the Giants. A little peek at Larimer Street. On for the Giants is Casey Kelly. Just his 5th appearance with the Rockies this year. Most of the season a starter for Sacramento. He does have a couple of starts with the Giants this year. And he starts out. Charlie with a breaking ball for strike one. Charlie 3 for 4 tonight. 2 of his hits, infield hits. He has a stolen base, and in his last inning he scored his 100th run of the year. Leads the National League.
He had that little Baltimore chop over the head of the pitcher.
Casey Kelly's dad, Pat, is the interim bench coach for Jim Riggleman and the Reds. Brian Price was let go earlier in the year. Jim Riggleman's done a nice job.
That's what I was going to say. I think Riggs might get that job after the year's over.
Blackman goes down.
Well, let's go back and kind of replay that catch by David Dahl in the 8th inning. It was in the air for a while, but David kept streaking in at the last seconds, able to kind of dive and slide and make that catch. Eyes locked in on that baseball the whole way, gets it into his glove, and the good thing too, he's had time to brace himself for that slide once he hit the ground.
And again, it was clearly in fair territory. It's a wonderful catch, and it's another example. I was talking to Bruce Bochy earlier. One of the things that he is so impressed with the Rockies is how athletic they are. This is back up the middle, a base hit for DJ. You talk about David Dahl, young and athletic. Ryan McMahon may not be a flyer. He's kind of an average speed guy, but you know, Ryan can play a multitude of positions. Of course, you have Desmond, you have Story, who's a marvelous athlete.
It just helps you win games in different ways. You know, every night you're not going to be able to outslug the other team. You might have to take, you know, bases 90 feet at a time.
Well, think of how many stolen bases the Rockies have of late.
Well, last month they had 30 stolen bases as a club. That led all of baseball.
A variety of guys who can
Run another 3 stolen bases tonight. They had a 4 stolen base last night.
Rockies trying to stay unbeaten in September, the most important month of the year. Began the day in first place by themselves. 7th inning, Arizona still shutting out San Diego 2-0. We would like to see here. You'd always like to see it, but if Nolan can find a barrel here, give him some momentum going into tomorrow night.
Yeah, drive one into the gap.
Smoked a double his first at bat last night, yesterday afternoon to be precise, against Bumgarner.
A couple pitches clearly in the Subaru strike zone that just missed because both of them went straight back. As a hitter, that tells you you're on it, but not quite.
Six runs, 10 hits for the Rockies. No errors tonight. The Giants 2 runs, 7 hits. Marquez terrific again this evening. It's jammed. Only 1 play for panic. LeMahieu to second. And that'll bring up Cargo. The Rockies are a run away from the magic number of 7. When the Rockies hit that magic number, as they've done the last couple of days, everybody gets tacos. You can follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for such an occurrence. Rockies Taco Special. Inside.
Cargo helped get 3 of the 6 runs with that.
And think about it, he was behind the count, yeah. 1 and 2 to tie block.
Ty missed where he wanted. They want to come back up and in, because remember, that's where he fouled the first 2 pitches off. Was up and in. Missed it. Cargo made it pay.
2-0. Rockies have Wade Davis naturally, and they also have Scott Oberg.
They did this the other day in San Diego. Remember, Drew, on that Sunday game, Rockies were up by 4, and they went with Scott in the 9th.
If Cargo knocks in DJ here, it'll be Oberg without a doubt. It still may be Oberg.
Yeah.
He's throwing the ball very well.
Because you have 3 left-handers, or excuse me, 3 right-handers. The one left-hander, Chris Shaw, was taken out of the game earlier for Austin Slater when they were playing for defense.
But he's checking potential moves that Bochy might make. 3-0 on Cargo with Story on deck. And a walk. And now 2 on for Trevor. He's 1 for 3 and an intentional walk.
Shortstop, number 27, Trevor Story.
It's the 7th walk received tonight for Colorado.
Just 2 of them have come around to score. They had the 2 in the 7th. 1 regular walk by DJ, and then the intentional walk by Nolan. 2 Nolan, I should say.
Tell you what, Story, he was creeping up on 300.
5. 525 at bats, 155 hits.
That's inside, 2-0. Two and one. Dodgers have taken a lead now on the Mets. They were trailing 4-0, and now they've gone ahead 5-4. It hasn't been updated yet there. Now they put a 4 up. They're going to have to change that out and add another run. LeMahieu at second, Cargo at first.
Just see the kind of the body language of the Giants right now. They're out on defense for a long time last inning. Adam got them out 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th.
I think and you've been there, Huey, I think your energy initially is good, and then when you're out of it in September and you feel like you're out of it in the ball game, you see some of that body language, and it's not
natural. It's not, I'm not taking a shot at them. No, it's natural. I mean, every player has been there, you know, and it's hard to stay engaged when you're, you know, when the innings have been long, and like you said,
that hyper focus, that intensity that you try to bring, you know, to every at bat, to every situation.
And on the flip side, it's easy when you're in it.
That'll end the inning. Story strikes out. The Rockies leave 2 on. They need 3 more outs to shake hands. Colorado 6, San Francisco 2.
Field, we welcome you out to center field. Jenny Kavnar with Corey Sullivan getting ready for the Toyota post-game show. How about the cardiac Colorado kids doing it again behind Ryan McMahon, sparking the 7th and the big 5 runs, and of course the kid on the hill, the 23-year-old, with another double-digit strikeout.
We're just going to go with this more of the same. We can pretty much expect this for the next 24 games, where they're just going to trot along for 7 innings and then they'll throw it on offensively and the starting pitcher will get them there. This is incredible watching these guys play right now.
It is. Hello, sweetheart. Thanks for coming by. We will see you guys right after the game, and I'm a little nervous about spilling his tactics to get the cardiac kids rallying. He might have a cardiac situation with that popcorn on the floor. Spilly, I hope you come to work tomorrow. Don't be sick, bud.
I'll make it. I might be late.
Shocking.
I'm all for him just sleeping up there.
Sleeping up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got to clean. I cleaned up, just in case you were wondering. I did clean up the mess. So Next time I have to go up there, it'll be rally time, and we'll make sure we score some runs and eat some disgusting coffee.
Hey, you did good tonight.
I felt good.
Yeah.
Nice job.
It's not over
Billy.
yet. It's not
no,
over yet.
it's
No.
not.
Nope, but I like the chances. Wade Davis, he's been on a roll. Nick Huntley's at the plate. 9th inning, first pitch. Slider off the plate. 1-0. Nick tonight, 2 strikeouts and a single. Couple hits last night for Huntley, the erstwhile Rocky.
61st game for Wade. What about the 38 saves he has? This is not a save situation. In his last 9 games, he's faced 30 batters, given up just 2 hits, 0 earned runs, and 13 strikeouts.
Three and 1. Wade's a little upset with himself. He knows pound the zone, man.
Exactly.
You're up 4 runs.
You know, come out first pitch, ball, okay. But he come back with the next one. He didn't. It was 2-0. Now 3-1. He was just like, oh, come on.
And a walk. So that'll bring up Austin Slater.
Left fielder, number 53, Austin Slater.
And Brian Shaw throwing in the Rockies bullpen, but this is on Wade Davis.
There we go. And after that walk, too, then he just made sure who he had if there was a comebacker. So if he gets one back to him, it'll be to DJ at second base because Trevor's pulled over into the hole more. Smart move by Chris right now. After that pitch down in the dirt, it's the reset for Wade.
You know, it's that dilemma, if you will. You always want to treat a situation like, you know, it's 0-0, the old line, right? Even if coaches at halftime of a football game up big, hey, we got to play the second half like it's a, you know, a tied game. Well, yes, if you're Wade Davis, but no, in that you're up 4. The scoreboard dictates, and he's been bouncing pitches. It's 2-1.
Well, the last thing you want too is you bring him in, and you know how to extend the pitches.
The first walk for Wade in 9 games. 2-1. And now it's 3-1. And you're working in the bottom of the lineup. You don't want this thing to turn around. All of a sudden, you got a Brandon Belt at the plate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You had it lined up like you wanted. You had 3 right-handed batters.
And a base hit.
The guy that the Giants saw was going to be a hero coming to the plate when he hit the home run in the 7th.
Buddy's going to go out. Gorkys Hernandez is coming up. You have a 4-run lead, walk and a single on a 3-1 pitch. Nothing easy ever this time of year, and especially the way this season is played out for the Rockies. Remind him, I think, on a comebacker where he's going, just settling it down.
Yeah. Well, and that's the experience that Bud has.
The calm demeanor.
Because I think your natural tendency is to go out there. It's like, really? Come on, let's go. Be more of a, you know, an angry type of meeting.
Yep. Just release points way off. It's amazing because he couldn't have been any sharper last night with 3 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 save in the ninth.
And I think Scott Oberg's going to get back up. Yeah, because you can't let this one kind of get away from you too quickly. And Scott's already loose. It wouldn't take him long.
2-0. Forgive me for stating the obvious. You just don't want to end up with the tying run coming up. And you know, the tying run right now is in the on-deck circle, and the guy who hit the 2-run homer yesterday off the bench, Alan Hansen. Tried to influence it by turning in on it, but it was a strike. It's 2-1 on Hernandez.
Yeah, if you're Wade, you'll take it any way you can get it, because that's not where he wanted that pitch.
Hernandez is grounded into 9 double plays. 10 would look nice here. Got a chance. That helps.
Good call, Drew. You need to use that call more often.
You got to play that card once in a while. Well, 2 gone now in the ninth.
You played it at the right time. Now you feel you can breathe just a little bit easier.
I put the Tums aside, man. Like, gosh, I got to break them back out.
Not now, though. I mean, you still got 1 out to go, but you feel a lot better after this double play for the Rockies. That's double play number 131 on the season.
We feel better. Spilly feels better, I think. I'm sure Wade Davis feels better. Alan Hansen, the pinch hitter. Runner at third, 2 outs. 0-1. Ball and a strike. Arizona continues to lead 2-0 against San Diego. Latter third of that game. Hansen lines it. Desmond catches it. Ball game over. 40th come from behind victory for the Colorado Rockies this year, and the first place Rockies roll on. They improved to 76-62. They've won the first 2 here against the Giants. They've won 17 of 19 at home against the Giants. Marquez was terrific. Cargo a huge 3-run triple. McMahon off the bench, a game-tying home run. Chris Russin gets the victory. Moranta takes the loss. And the Rockies, once again, a season-best 14 above 500 as they've won 4 straight. 6-2 the final to center field. Here's Jenny and Corey. All yours, guys.
All right, Drew, thanks so much. I'm loving September.
I am too. 2-0. These guys are playing great baseball at the right time. 4-0?
Don't shy them.
I'm sorry. You're right. I was thinking at home.
Oh, you're right. 2-0 at home. Hey, that works. That definitely works. A win works for the Rockies any way you can get it. We'll talk about these cardiac Colorado kids when we return on the Toyota Postgame Show.